Good morning, my friend. Dean here, of course, on the way to Internet Profits HQ. Welcome to today's episode of The Drive.
The Drive.
Good morning. How are you doing? It is rainy and gloomy here in the UK. Not gonna lie, pretty tired today. I feel it. Feel low on energy. I wish I'd have got up this morning and gone to the gym and done some exercise or something to really get that blood pumping around my body, but you know, some days you just can't do it. You're like, oh, I just can't do it today. Long day ahead. Right now it's like about 8 o'clock in the morning, and today I got a long day of stuff that I'm doing. I'm actually hosting a webinar at 11 PM tonight that'll probably go on till like 1 in the morning. So what's that? That's like, I don't know, 16-hour day or something. Definitely not one of my typical days anymore. Used to be, but definitely not one of my typical days anymore. But I'm excited because I get to test a new webinar presentation out and new training and help deliver more value to people. And I want to talk about something today, something I've been thinking about, and that's dealing with risk. Like I obviously see, I've been through a lot of stuff myself, and as I look back, I think, you know, I've got quite a high risk tolerance. Like, I'm not afraid to take risks. I'm not saying risk doesn't bother me or scare me, but it doesn't stop me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm quite a high risk tolerance person. And because of that, I feel, if I look at things over the years, I feel it's a quality that A, has got me into some difficulties, but outweighing that is the benefits it's brought me. Like, I see a lot of people, for example, you know, talking of doing webinars, so I see a lot of people, when I do a webinar, I see some people that know they need what's being offered, and they want it deep down, but their fear of taking a risk on themselves and on the product, if the trust isn't at a 10 out of 10, the risk will stop them from moving forwards, and they stay in a comfort zone area where they feel comfortable. You know, and I see people, a lot of people are comfortable to spend $20, $30, $40, you know, $100 on a product, and they'll do that over and over and over again, amassing thousands and thousands of dollars in spend, but their risk tolerance wouldn't allow them to spend $5,000 or $3,000 or $2,000 in one go for something that could help them much more significantly than the $150 products they have sitting on their hard drive. Do you know what I mean? And so I want you to probably have a look at yourself and think about this, and think about, where do you feel your risk tolerance is? Are you a low risk tolerance person, therefore you stay in a low threshold comfort zone? Or do you feel you're a high risk tolerance person, and therefore you don't allow the fears of risk to stop you from moving forwards? Am I talking about being naive and stupid and making ridiculous decisions because you don't think anything through? No. I'll be honest again, I was there at one stage in my life. That is where I say my high risk tolerance has got me into some difficulties. But what I'm saying is that you should realize that all advances and progression in life, generally speaking, from my experience, comes from taking risks. You know, taking a risk to say, this is what I want to do, and taking a risk on actually doing it. Taking a risk on believing in yourself when others around you may have doubt. Taking a risk to invest in yourself when you've been let down before. Taking a risk to invest in yourself when you've let yourself down before. Taking a risk on yourself when things have not gone to plan previously. You know, all these kind of things. If you can push through that comfort zone that prevents you doing those, if that is you, then you will find you are able to actually break through and progress. You know, I took a risk in moving out of my comfort zone in my home office, having huge profit margins, to taking on a significant office space for a minimum of 5 years, but actually a 10-year lease. Why? Because I went all in. I took a risk to growing the team, potentially even before we was financially possibly in a strong enough and clear enough position to maybe grow it as fast as I did. But I know where I want to be, and so what did I do? I took a risk that is paying off, a risk that will pay off, because I will make it pay off. And so often people say, well, why do you put in these long days sometimes? Why do you put in what you do sometimes? Why? Because I take risks on myself, and sometimes that is what is required for me to make my risks in myself pay off. And so think about that. Bit of a random topic here today, discussion of risk and risk tolerance. But I feel your tolerance of risk will define kind of where you are best investing yourself. Like, I think if I look at it, I think this is probably why not everyone, it's not the right decision for everyone to actually be an entrepreneur and to run their own business. Because I think you do have to be slightly crazy and high risk tolerant to run your own business, because there is like, it is very much low risk and secure to a degree to work at a company, get paid a salary, show up every day, do your absolute best, over delivering your job, and walk out that door at the end of the day. The guy running the company has a much higher risk, because he's paying those people, paying all the expenses, and only if things are paying off does he get to pay himself or herself. So different situations suit different people. It wouldn't suit everyone to be an employee. It wouldn't suit everyone to be an entrepreneur. And I think risk plays a part in a lot of where you'll fit in life. But that said, don't accept where you fit if you strive for more. That's where you've got to sometimes break through the risk tolerance that you may feel you have and excel in your current area. So anyway, thank you for joining me here on this journey. Obviously, we're at Internet Profits HQ now, so I bid you a good work day, my friend, and I will, of course, see you tomorrow. So until then, take care. Bye-bye for now.